light up the stage.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, founder and CEO of Lighthouse Streaming. Over the last 4 years, we've had some tremendous successes, none of which could have been accomplished without you, our clients, and our viewers. From my family and the staff of Lighthouse Streaming, thank you.
MCC has definitely benefited me most on not only what I want to do, but who I aspire to be. Expect every professor to help you become who you want to be and more. Create your own success at MCC.
Whether you're fast-tracking toward a rewarding career or building the foundation for advanced studies, you'll find a path to success with one of McLennan Community College's 140-plus degree and certification programs. MCC works for me.
McLennan Community College can give you the tools you need to meet your goals, whether you plan to fast-track toward a successful career or lay the foundation for advanced educational opportunities. MCC works for me.
Takes the short jumper and knocks it down. Weeks. Pass inside to Johnson. Johnson able to finish. Just got it in the corner of the drive. Brown will put up the three. Brown knocks this one down. First shot of the game. Now Butler will shoot the three straight away and knocks it down. Good pass back inside to Shakira Brown, and she scores. Greg Gooding there for the rebound. Goes off glass and gets this one to go. Her first point. Butler on the step through and finishes off the glass. Ball stolen away. Greg Gooding's got it in transition. She's going to get all the way to the cup and finish with the finger roll. You see Gooden with the quick pass down low to Smith. Smith, dump off pass to Johnson with the... Butler comes off the screen, puts up the jumper, and knocks it down. Paris in transition. Poindexter all the way to the cup and gets this to go off the glass. Count it. Plus the Lewis will go to work on the block. Lewis puts the shot up and finishes. Floater off the glass is good, plus the foul. Count it. Goes to help out. Now Smith gets to the cup and finishes. Smith puts this one back up and in. Back. Stolen away by Hoof and poked out. Stolen away by Johnson. Johnson goes all the way with this one and finishes in transition. This one from start to finish. They're close to getting their 12th win of the season. They get it to Johnson on the block. Johnson reverse lay-in is Otis. Otis gets a screen. Otis off the dribble gets this one to go off glass.
McLennan Community College can give you the tools you need to meet your goals, whether you plan to fast-track toward a successful career or lay the foundation for advanced educational opportunities. MCC works for me.
Big box prices draining your wallet? Not at RJ's Bargain Center. We've got the same new appliances, refrigerators, washers, dryers, ovens, at a fraction of the cost. Every week, new specials hit the floor, but hurry, they don't last long. And when you find your deal, we'll handle the delivery and installation. RJ's Bargain Center, a Centex Sports Network supporter located at 711
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
This is why you need Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis brings the realness. Dive into the heart of sports with the most passionate commentary around. From pro to high school, Jalen's got the insight and energy you crave. Catch all the action weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network, only on YouTube. Join the conversation and elevate your sports knowledge with Centex Primetime. Don't miss it.
Need video or audio solutions? Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency, can transform any event. Check this out. We're talking live streaming that's crisp and clear, event audio that hits every note, and church video and audio solutions that'll enhance worship. Corporate events,
Hello, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into MCC Post Game Show / Centex Primetime. Hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today. As we just got done wrapping up MCC, their women's team ranked top 10 in the nation, just came out with a great victory on the road in what you could consider a hostile environment. Had a lot of fans in the audience there from Paris. Definitely shout out to all those little kids that got a chance to not be at school and come watch some basketball, so I know that was cool for them. MCC was able to come out with a 20-plus point victory in that game, picking up their 12th win of the season. Folks, we got a lot to talk about here today on Centex Primetime. We're going to do a quick hour with you guys as we talk about some football on just about every level. Texas high school football, the championship games are set. We're going to talk about some NFL football. So we've got another game tonight, Pittsburgh versus Miami, and what could be for a playoff spot in the AFC, maybe even possibly the final playoff spot. Talk about the other games that took place yesterday, and also the college football playoffs are finally here. We don't have to watch any more of these terrible bowl games that have happened so far. I'm not going to say they all been terrible. Shout out to the Celebration Bowl and that entire game, man. It was great. PV came up short against South Carolina State, but a great season for Prairie View A&M. We'll talk about some college football, some high school, and some NFL here today on Centex Primetime as well. Well, joining me here on the show, we're going to get right into it, folks. Familiar face and voice to the show, calling in with us today, PJ Gaither calling in. PJ, what's going on?
Man, just chilling, really, man. We got a lot of movement right now going on in the transfer portal.
Already,
a few guys into the transfer. Yeah, already today and in the last few days, really the last week or so. A few coaching vacancies that got filled up now, and a lot of high school football too that we got to talk about. State championship games coming up this week.
Yeah, a lot of good games coming up this week. A lot of guys already jumping into the portal. Obviously, the huge news with DJ Lagway jumping into the portal, who does have ties to Baylor. Not sure if he will come to Baylor, and I can't even say I will blame him. I think his pops played at Baylor, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, hey, that could be – you have to have that bag to get DJ Lagway, wherever school he decides to go to, whether that's LSU, Ole Miss potentially looking for a quarterback, but I doubt anybody going there. We don't even know who their coach is going to be like that yet. So a lot of transfer portal moves early on. When does the portal open, PJ? I can't remember what day.
I believe January the 2nd.
Yep, you're right. I just seen it, January 2nd. So it's like, okay, the portal doesn't open till then, but the portal's already open. As soon as football season ends, the portal is open, in my opinion. So a lot going down so far in college football, NFL football. But I want to start with a little bit of high school football. PJ, a big high school football fan like myself, got to see some really good matchups this weekend, especially on the 6A level. Got to see what a lot of people thought was going to be a classic game with Duncanville and Allen. You know, Allen had been talking a lot of noise in the playoffs for those of you that do watch high school football here in the Texas area. They were talking a lot of noise, which I get it, man. You're supposed to when you're playing as well as those guys were. Ran into the wrong guys, though. Ran into Duncanville. Duncanville finds himself back in the state championship game once again, and they're taking on a very, very familiar face. We're going to get part 6 of this state championship rivalry between Duncanville and North Shore, two teams that always seem to find themselves not only in the state championship, but against each other. We think all the way back to the Hail Mary play that they had that really started all of this, 6 or 7 years ago when those guys first matched up against each other. Here we are all this time later, matched up again for the 6th time in the state championship game. I don't know if that's the most or if that's a record yet. I'm sure there's a team in the 30s that probably played against each other every year. Odessa Permian versus Plano or something like that. Like back in the 80s when they only had 4 or 5 teams going. Yates probably had 4 or 5 matchups against some teams in the state championship game. But as far as I can remember, this is the most matchups I've seen in the state championship game since I've been a high school fan.
Yeah, the closest thing I've seen from this was, back when we was in high school, whenever Cedar Hill and Katy faced each other, like I think 3 years in a row. Yeah, it was 3 years in a row. So that's the closest I done seen. Also, I'm not sure. I know South Lake and Katy faced each other a few times, but I don't think it was in a row.
Yeah.
Not in a row. No, this hasn't even been in a row either. But this hasn't been in a row either. But still, it's just the amount of times. I mean, because the Hail Mary play, that was 2018. That was the 2018 state championship.
It's
game.
like
so
six
from 2018
and
to
10
now,
years. I think 6 times in 8 years. I think something like that. Like
8 years is crazy. That's a little crazy. So. No, I haven't seen anything like this. Anyone else? I mean, maybe at a smaller division, I'm sure, but not at the highest classification have I ever seen 2 teams that just find themselves being in a state championship game against each other. You know what I'm saying? Just consecutively, like how they have.
Yeah, it's been crazy to see. I mean, as soon as I seen them in the Final Four, I was like, yeah, it's going to be Duncanville, North Shore again.
Yeah, Duncanville, North Shore, yeah.
I knew Lake Travis didn't stand a chance against North Shore. And I definitely didn't pick Allen to win over Duncanville in that game.
Yeah, and I watched both games, and they both really just smacked Lake Travis and Allen. You could just tell that athletically, Allen, which I would say they probably had a better chance than Lake Travis did, but because they have some real good athletes on their team, but it just wasn't close at all. If I'm not mistaken, I think Allen only scored like 9 points, and Lake Travis only scored like 6 points.
Yep.
So even the scores are very similar. I think one was like 31-9, and the next one was 28-6. Like it was very similar games where you just seen North Shore and Duncanville. It was like, well, my athletes are better than yours, and there's really nothing that you could do about it.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it was. Both of those were almost like bully type of games, the Duncanville game and the Lake Travis game. Who do you got in this matchup, man? It's the 6th time. I think it's 3-2 split right now, leaning towards North Shore.
Yeah, 3-2.
Do you see Duncanville tying this thing up at 3-3, or North Shore extending that out some more, making it a 4-2 lead over these guys in the last 6 games they've met?
I'm leaning towards Duncanville. I feel like they got more. I feel like they got more just weapons than what North Shore has. North Shore has their quarterback is he number 7. He is awesome.
Yeah,
I think his name Caleb Maryland or something like that. He's a dog. He's a dog. They got a really good running game. They got some good outside receivers as well, and their defense is always really, really, really stout. You know, and just the way they played against, because Lake Travis had the number 1 defense in the state.
Yeah.
So the way they played well all dominated. Season. Yeah, like so the way I seen them dominate Lake Travis, I give them a chance to win. This is a toss-up game. Like either answer isn't really wrong, but I am leaning towards Duncanville just because I feel that they got guys like Trent Yancey. I think he's like the number 1 receiver in his class of 2020. 2028 or 2027.
Yeah, one of those two. He's a young dude.
Yeah, he's a young dude, but he's a dog. They have a really good running game. They got a few other receivers. They got track speed, really. When it comes to receivers for Duncanville, they all have track speed.
Yeah.
All of them. All them boys run track. They got track speed. It's crazy. And their defense is really good, too. They're going to get after your quarterback. They have a really good pass rush. Not so sure on the running game how they would look. Allen just didn't have a dominant running game, really. I mean, they looked good against everyone else, but, I mean, Allen, what came to bite them was that their district is very weak. When you have to play a bunch of Plano schools, you know what I mean? You playing all the Plano schools, like that's a very weak district. And even going into the playoffs, man, they didn't really just play too many people. And so they came to bite them whenever you got to go and play Duncanville, who, I mean, they're in District of Doom. So they're playing against Waxahachie. They lost against Waxahachie earlier in the season and was able to beat them, though, in the playoffs. So they had harder games, you know, even playing against South Oak Cliff, you know, who's also in the state championship game. So, you know, just go back to Duncanville. Yeah, I got Duncanville coming out in this game, but it's going to be a very close game, and it could come down just like it has a few times with, I mean, the last few seconds or the last few minutes of the game where one of these teams going to have to make a play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards North Shore just because of what you said about them dominating Lake Travis. I don't want to overlook that. Lake Travis have played great all year long. Not saying that Duncanville didn't dominate that matchup too, but man, it's going to be tough. There's no telling what you see in this game. We've seen Hail Marys, we've seen kickoff returns that decide the game, we've seen fumbles or interceptions that decide the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's no telling when these two teams match up what's going to happen. But I do know on Saturday, man, that game is going to be jam packed. They can't wait for this rivalry.
I'll be there.
Reignites the Houston and Dallas stuff. It's
Dallas,
easy for Houston and Dallas to beef with each other. So this just gives them a reason to beef a little bit more. The sixth matchup. I want to talk about the other two teams in Dallas. You mentioned one of them in SOC making it back to the state championship game once again. But the game of the week was definitely DeSoto, South Lake Carroll. That should have been a championship game, in my opinion. Shout out to Vandergriff and the CE King. Both of those teams have had really good years. But the best two teams in 6A Division II are South Lake Carroll and DeSoto. And the game showed it. Came all the way down to the wire. We all seen the play at the very end on 4th down where the quarterback tries to scramble, does not get in, gets stopped on the 1-yard line, which ended up being a huge play, man. Shout out to DeSoto and their defense for making that play because he was about to fall into the end zone. The last dude that came in, the safety, it should have been targeting. It wasn't targeting, but he came in and knocked the quarterback's block off. Hey, man, that's what you got to do. This is for the state championship.
Mm-hmm.
The dude is on the 1-yard line, and he's about to fall into the end zone. Seeing people mad and say, oh, this was helmet to helmet. This was this. Hey, it was helmet to helmet. Did it get called? No. So guess what? It's a game-winning play because his momentum was falling forward until that safety came in and hit him. His whole body almost flipped. I said, oh, yeah, this is going to sting. It's a good thing this is the end of football season for him because his head, he can't be under no spotlights right now. I know his head is probably still hurting after getting that hit, but a great win for DeSoto. Their running back takes it, goes 99 yards on the next play after that to kind of rub it in some more. Talk about DeSoto getting that win over South Lake Carroll, man. I know that's always a big time matchup. When DeSoto takes on the South Lake, it's kind of like the kids from the South Side playing against the kids from the North Side. DeSoto High School and South Lake Carroll High School look completely different. Their school, their demographics, everything about them couldn't be further from each other. So that's always an interesting dynamic when they get a chance to be in the same stadium. Talk about DeSoto, though, getting back. Their coach, we said, hey, man, everybody forgot about us. They said it's going to be an off year or we are falling off. They're right back in the state championship once again.
Yeah. They, they showed a lot of grit in this game. They were down by like two or three scores. It was the game of the year as far as for high school football in the state of Texas. That probably was the game of the year. Shout out to South Lake Carroll, man. They gave them everything they had in the game all the way up to the end. I mean, he was really just inches away from the end zone.
Yeah, inches away.
Like he was inches away from the end zone. So that game was awesome. But like I said, shout out to DeSoto, man, and shout out to their running back, Sarai Baker. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had like 3 touchdowns in that game. Yeah. Leading up to the last one. He called game. He called game on that run, going for 99 yards. So DeSoto looking really good. They looking like how they always look. And shout out to their coach too. He had I don't know if you've seen his interview after the game.
Yeah, I watched.
He had a lot. He had a lot to say for sure, man. Them dudes, man, because they lost like 3 games this year, and a lot of people wasn't really looking at them, to even get this far into the playoffs, even go to state. You know what I'm saying? They kind of wrote them off a little bit, and so they weren't favored at all going into the South Lake Carroll game. South Lake Carroll was the number 1 team in the state of Texas, and were really just killing everybody. They was killing everyone leading up to this game. So the fact that DeSoto was able to come back against them, man, like I said, that showed a lot of grit, and it just shows the culture that they got still at DeSoto, where it's always been like this, and they're not going nowhere, like Coach said.
Yeah, they're going to continue to dominate, man, as long as, and I've said it for years, as long as they keep putting DeSoto in 6A Division II, they're just going to keep winning.
They're going to always win.
They're just better than everybody in 6A Division II. I understand it goes by students and all this kind of stuff on how they split it up. And 6A Division. They're supposed to be 6A Division I, man. Come on.
They always played in 6A. When we was in school, DeSoto played in 6A Division One, and they was getting knocked out the playoffs by Kyler Murray.
Yep.
They had a lot of legendary matchups with Kyler Murray and Allen in the playoffs around that time. So they, not to say that they wouldn't make it that far, but they're probably just like a few years ago when I went and watched them play Globe Life against Duncanville when they were still going Division One around that time. You got other teams that you're going to run up against. Now, don't get me wrong. Speaking of the Houston versus Dallas thing, we got a Houston versus pretty much matchup all Saturday. You got South Oak Cliff versus Richmond Randall. Then you got the Duncanville North Shore, and then you got this Houston CE King game against DeSoto. But speaking of King, Houston CE King is a really, really good team. I've actually spoke about them on here before.
Yep.
I think probably like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like 2 years ago. They've been on the come up. They have a really good team. They finally got over the hump and was able to get to the state championship game. So congratulations to them too. I think they're gonna really give this DeSoto team a really good game. But I mean, it's like you said, man, when DeSoto goes Division II, 6A, it's kind of hard to not pick them to win the championship or even get to the championship. It's hard because it's just you're not gonna run through as much of a gauntlet as you are when you're going Division I.
No, man, it's nowhere near the same gauntlet. I mean, we're talking about the amount of teams, good teams, Duncanville had to get through to get to the state championship. Same with Lake Travis, even getting as far as they did, going to St. North Shore getting as far as they did. Like, it's stacked. I'm not knocking nobody in 6A Division II. I get it. Still a lot of good teams. I'm just saying it ain't the same as playing in 6A Division I. And as long as DeSoto stays in it, y'all might as well keep getting ready to get the trophy to DeSoto. Like, they're bigger, faster, stronger than everybody in 6A Division II almost. Now, they definitely going to have their hands full this weekend against CE King, like you said. There are no scrubs whatsoever. All the Dallas schools getting a chance to play against these Houston schools. That's going to be fun. Man, but a lot of great games coming on this weekend. I always love watching the entire week leading up. The games start on Thursday, I believe. Thursday, they'll start with the lower level games. And you get to watch. I watch all of them. Wednesdays, actually. Yeah, Wednesday night. Yeah, Wednesday night will start it. We'll start in the 1A and the 6-man level. And I watch all the games leading up to because some of these dudes are future stars regardless of. I remember watching Jonathan Brooks play for Hattiesville. That was 2A Division II, I think.
He killed.
Yeah, he went crazy. He broke every record. I was mainly watching because this is the only guy that had a chance to break any Jonathan Gray records, it's like a holy grail in Texas high school football for getting close to any Jonathan Gray records. So when I was seeing him do that, I was like, man, I got to watch this kid. Watched him in the state game, and he went crazy again. So you never know who you're watching when you're watching these lower level games. So I can't wait to watch all week long from Wednesday all the way to Saturday when we get the 6th version of Duncanville versus North Shore. So a lot of great games coming up on the high school football level. Shout out to Duncanville, DeSoto, and Sock, man, for not only getting back there and all representing Dallas, but to see 3 black head coaches back in the state championship game that they can't do nothing with. They can't keep Reggie Samples out of the state championship game at Duncanville or at Sock or at DeSoto as well. So shout out to all 3 of those schools.
The biggest thing too, even with the Houston schools, all 3 of those schools are all predominantly black schools.
Yep. Yeah.
Coming out the Houston area. CE King, Galena Park North Shore coming out the east side of Houston. Sure. Richmond Randall, they're all predominantly black schools. So just to see this, I couldn't ask for anything better to watch come Saturday, and I'll be up there for pretty much predominantly all 3 of those games on Saturday, just watching. I can't wait to be in the crowd. I know the Sock, their alumni is going to be in there deep every time they go to the state championship. Man, they white out all the time. So. And then you'll see them in the Duncanville game or the DeSoto game afterwards. You know what I mean? So they all do well, pretty much just supporting each other. And I'm sure the Houston schools are going to do the same, even though those schools don't really have any type of connection like these 3 schools do, Dallas. But I'm sure H-Time going to be in there. They're going to be in there deep as well. You might see some of them stay after the games too, just kind of watching all the other games. So Houston and Dallas for sure in our big classifications in Texas right now. they got it right now, man.
Yeah, they
Houston got,
dominating.
yeah, the smaller classifications is more East Texas, Central. You know what I mean? Or as 5A, 6A, Houston and Dallas for sure.
Yeah, they dominating right now, man. And yeah, the alumni are going to be great. Duncanville and DeSoto, you know, they crowds can get a little bit rowdy, but it's not really too many crowds like SOC, man. SOC is you start to realize what the SO and C stand for when you out there, and you start to see that SOC crowd show up. It's not really nothing like them.
You know they be saying they take that to heart.
Yeah, no, they serious.
America to heart.
Yeah, no, they serious about that. That ain't no joke. And it's South Oak Cliff. They ain't just representing Oak Cliff. They representing South Oak Cliff. A whole different type of thing. So shout out to them, man. Only crowd I seen that's close to them on the level of try me if you want to is probably North Crowley, man. Those two crowds
North
right
Crowley
there
was crazy last year.
They get to tripping, man, and quick.
Yeah, North Crowley was crazy last year. That definitely in that Duncanville game before the state championship game.
I thought the parking lot was gonna get shot up, man. I was like, bro, this ain't the crowd you want to start messing with.
Dude, I seen so many 817 shirts. It was crazy.
Yeah, you can't.
Like the whole city of Fort Worth was supporting them.
I think my freshman Fort Worth just different, so you can't let no Fort Worth school really get good like that. They only wanted the Lido to get good. They didn't want none of the teams in Fort Worth to start getting good again, because this is what you go see. I think my freshman year in high school, we played in basketball in the playoffs, played Dunbar, and man, some of them guys, my half my family's from Fort Worth, so I get it, and right out of the same area as Dunbar. But some of those guys that was on the team had never been exposed to that type of crowd before, and needless to say, we lost by about 20. Man, they crowd definitely affected them. I don't think they had ever been heckled, whatever you want to call it, like that before. It's dudes standing underneath the goal and big bubble coats, and this is in 2010. This ain't the bubble coat guys wearing now because it's popular. They had other stuff in their coats. That's why they had those bubble coats on back then. This 2010. So they was not used to that environment. Needless to say, the Midway Panthers did not come out with a big
City Trends, man.
Yeah, straight out of City, man. Come on.
City Trends with the fake fur.
In the big City Trends, the one right when you exit on Berry Street, right there, next to the gas station. The big one. Yeah, they got them all from right out of there. And I say, yeah, these guys, coach included, had not been used to that type of environment and the type of words that they were getting. So shout out to all the high schools that are going to be in the state championship games this weekend. A lot of teams have a chance to write their names down in the history books. Folks, we got to touch some NFL and some college football here as well. Let's jump into a couple of quick takes, though, before we do. A lot of injuries happened yesterday in the NFL, man. Specifically, Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL yesterday, and obviously Micah Parsons as well tearing his ACL. And I was actually watching that game live, and as soon as he did it, I was like, yeah, he tore his ACL. Seeing the way it was non-contact, the way that his leg buckled like that, I was like, yeah, that's not a sprained ankle or anything else. That's a torn ACL. And came out and confirmed that he tore his ACL. What do you think about two major hits like that happening yesterday with Mahomes and Michael Parsons getting hurt yesterday?
Yeah, that was crazy. Definitely with Micah's. Like it was like I seen it once he like went down. I was like, oh man, it looks like a ACL. And as far as with Mahomes, I wasn't really sure, man. Those are two big hits, really for teams. Definitely for the Patriots because you still have playoff implications. So now, and I mean, he's a big deal as to why you're even in the playoff picture. Yeah. So, I mean, a box office guy that you went and got, in a massive trade, this year. So I'm not sure how they gonna really bounce back from this, or if they even going to bounce back from this. They were gonna lose that game, I think, even without him going down. But now this just kind of changes your whole entire season going into the playoffs, because that's a guy that you really need, and that's a guy that gets a lot of looks off of other guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really unfortunate. I'm hoping for for him to recover. As well. And even with his team not having playoff implications either, this is still a big blow just because you just don't know how he's going to recover, how he's going to be after this injury going into next year. You know what I mean? Or how long will it take possibly for him to feel like he's 100% again? So yeah, for both guys, man, this I ain't gonna lie. As far as with Michael Parsons, the way he injured himself, this is the reason why we really advocating right now to get grass fields again. I'm not sure if that would happen on the grass, and it possibly. It's just we're having a lot of injuries on this turf, and I'm really an advocate on grass fields, man, because I grew up playing on grass fields, you know, and turf. But I remember playing at certain schools before they even had turf, and they had nets.
Killeen, man, you went to Midway too. We had to play Killeen every year.
Yeah, like we going to Killeen playing on grass. Yeah, like real muddy games. We're white. You coming out, your jersey is brown, man.
Bro,
I don't know how they used to get all that mud.
Beating them by 60, but the whole field is just covered in mud.
Just muddy. It ain't even rain.
No, like it's just this mud from last week or something. Like I don't even know. It only rained one time we was there, but every time we went, it was muddy. And it take 50 minutes to get into the stadium because they was in Fort Hood. So now it take us. Every bus got to get checked, and I'm like, golly, bro. But yeah,
even you know going out to you know sometimes like scrimmage Corsicana or out there in Cameron, you know go out to Cameron. I remember Cameron had grass. Yeah, and they used to have them big old grasshoppers and stuff like that. The grasshoppers is jumping on you as you running the ball.
Yeah, no, they see serious out there. It was bad last time we went to do a Centex game out there. Yeah, the mosquitoes got me last time we went out there. I was like, golly.
Yeah, so no, I'm a big advocate on the grass fields. I just think personally that the you know grass fields will kind of alleviate all these injuries that we're having right now in the league, and we've really been having consistently for a few years now.
Yeah, man, I don't know how much that affects it, but I'm sure it has some type of effect on it. It's a big blow. Kansas City, like you said, they're eliminated from the playoffs already, and we're gonna talk about them again in just a second. But for the Green Bay Packers, man, I don't want to say it's a season ender, but this is definitely a season changer. This is a team that, I mean, they're Super Bowl contenders. I don't know who's coming out of the NFC this year, but Green Bay is just as good as or tier right below as the Los Angeles Rams or Philadelphia Eagles or any of those teams. Like this team was playing great football majority of the year, and a lot of that was due to Michael Parsons. So seeing him being out of this, man, I mean, it's tough. It's tough for the Packers as well. A couple more quick takes here. Yesterday, the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns played against each other, and Dylan Brooks and LeBron got a chance to get into it again over and over. I mean, I get it. You know, if you're Dylan Brooks, you want to make this your thing, like I'm the guy that went at LeBron. But it never ends well for him, though. Like, it just never seems to end well. He did I'm the guy that's going to poke the bear, and then they swept the Grizzlies. Even when he was on my team, man, it's like he just always wants to try to make LeBron swing on him. I don't know what he said yesterday, but Bron was close. He's like, bro, I'm 40. You know, I'm a billionaire. I'm about to swing on this dude in just a second. He started pushing the ref. That's when I knew Bron was Bron. And he can do what he want. Because LeBron started moving the ref out the way like a little kid. I was like, hey, bro, you can't touch the ref, bro. You are not allowed to touch. That is supposed to be an automatic ejection. The ref is trying to move away. LeBron is grabbing this man's shoulder and turning him around. He dang near picking him up by his neck like a puppy. I'm like, hey, bro, Bron definitely got some serious clout still in the league because ain't nobody else pushing and tugging on the ref like that. But they get into it again after that. Dylan Brooks hits a big-time three over him, but then gets ejected from the game because he comes over and pushes LeBron after he hits the three to give him the lead. Dylan Brooks gets ejected. LeBron comes back out. They don't foul him, but they call a foul. LeBron has to freak those games over with. What do you think about Dylan Brooks steadily trying to get into it with LeBron over and over?
I don't know why he do that. He's like you say, he always trying to poke the bear, but I'm not trying to poke at the GOAT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the GOAT. And you're doing it and it never does anything. You know what I mean? Y'all always end up just losing or getting swept. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, it doesn't. I don't know what he gets out of that. Like, do you not like LeBron? You got against the GOAT? You got something against LeBron or something? Like, you grew up I don't know who
he Canadian, man. You know, ain't no telling. You know, sometimes guys be a little bit weird.
He is Canadian. You right. I don't know who. He might. You know what?
He thinks Steve Nash to go or something. He probably ain't watching LeBron.
Yeah. You know, but that makes sense though, because he probably was a Toronto Raptor fan growing up, and LeBron.
Yeah, he used to bully them.
Even in his first stint with the Cavaliers, if you just go look up LeBron's, like, I don't know what he got against Toronto, but all his like best numbers are against Toronto.
Every year, no matter when they play him, when he hit the little fadeaway running off the glass for a game winner, I'm like, he don't even care. Like, he hates the Raptors crazy. At this point. Like, he does his best moves, whatever his best games are outside of the finals are going to be against the Toronto Raptors. So yeah, maybe I ain't put their connection together, but maybe it's that. Maybe he a closet Raptor fan still, and he like, I'm going to defend my country, and I'm going to be the bully for LeBron. Like, okay, bro, let's stop, man. Let's stop. Let's stop. Not gonna do anything. And somebody got to tell him, hey, bro, once your braids hit a certain length, you got to switch to dreads. This man got braids all the way to the middle of his back. What are you doing? Like, them the braids the girls get when they go into Jamaica. Like, why do you got them braids in your head, bro? Like, what are you doing? Somebody got to. Hey, shout out DB, man. He had a good run on my Rockets, so I ain't gonna hate on him too much. But I don't get the feud thing with LeBron. Like, bro, you got to, and then you be trying to get him to swing on you. You don't even want to play. It ain't even about basketball. Like, you do stuff to the point that Bron is like, bro, we can just go ahead and box.
You want him to crash out. Like, that ain't cool, bro.
And then people was like, man, I told y'all LeBron ain't going to do nothing. He ain't even swing on. But this dude is a billionaire. Why would he sock out? If he didn't punch KG, he's not going to punch nobody. Ain't nobody said wilder stuff to him than Kevin Garnett and all them Boston Heat rivalries and when he was on the Cavs rivalry. So if he ain't do nothing then to him or Paul Pierce, he don't care about Dylan Brooks. This dude's a 40-year-old billionaire with a son that plays for his team. He's not about to punch Dylan Brooks. Now, Bronny need to get up and go. See, this is the time Bronny got to go earn his stripes. Dude keep messing with your pops. Your dad is the GOAT. He can't swing on him. But you, on the other hand, you for sure can swing on him. If you get off the bench and swing on him, I mean, you're going to get suspended 2 weeks. But your NBA check is probably not even going to your bank account. His check is probably going into a hedge fund or something like that. He's already rich. He got LeBron's credit card still. He don't need to spend any of his money. So who cares if you get fined? Yeah. You need to get up here and go defend your pops, man, and go take one for the team.
Crash out for your father.
You got to, Bronny. You're not getting in the game no way. You got to get out and just say, you know what, I'm finna earn my stripes.
What do you have to lose?
I'm finna jump off the porch.
You ain't got nothing to lose.
No, they're not gonna kick you off the team, bro. Your daddy pretty much owns the team. They ain't gonna kick you off. Now, if you wait till you go to Charlotte or something and try to crash out, you off the team.
You might be out the league.
Yeah, you out the league after that. You're gonna be playing for the Israel Rockets. You after that, so you might want to keep it together, man. A couple more quick takes here, man, before we move on to some football. Phillip Rivers played his first game in 1,800 days. 1,800 days since he played in the NFL. Threw away his chance to make it into the Hall of Fame this year, to go out there and play. He goes 18 for 27, 120 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Now, he didn't play terrible in this game, but, I mean, come on, he still knows how to read defense and all that kind of stuff. But on that last play of the game, when I seen him try to throw the ball, the furthest he ever threw it so far, 30 yards, and this man had to gallop and lean his whole body into it, and the ball only went like 30-something yards, I said, hey, get Phillip out the game, man, before this guy hurt something. He took his whole body to throw 30 yards. Whole body. And I know he didn't get hit in this game, but if you keep rolling this dude out here, he's going to get hit, and he's going to not get up. So I get it. It was a good feel-good story, but if Riley Leonard clears any type of injury protocols, Riley Leonard needs to be starting on Sunday and not Phillip Rivers. It was a cool story.
For sure.
He hadn't played in 1,800 days. He said, I'm inspiring my team back home. He's still calling his high school team my team. This dude ain't thinking about hey, man, get out the game, bro. Get out the game. You used your whole body to throw 30 yards. It was a cool story. Riley Leonard's injured. If he's not hurt anymore, he's got to start on Sunday. I think that's it. And what do you think about Phillip Rivers' first game back, though, against the Seahawks?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, I was talking to some people about this too. We was watching the game, and, he can still read defenses probably better than a lot of guys just because he had such a long career. And he was, at one point, a top QB in the league, you know what I mean? At least top 15, top 10. You know what I mean? In some years, maybe even, you could say top 5 probably when the Chargers would have a really good season. So, he still got to get out the game, man, because he will be getting hit very soon. Somebody will lay a clean hit on him, and it's going to shake up everything in his body.
I mean, like your life's going to be different after the hit, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to be different.
So he needs to just go sit down somewhere, you know what I mean? Just go be a grandpa.
What's wrong with that?
Be a grandpa, bro. He's not grandpa age, but he is a grandpa, though.
Yeah.
So just go be a grandpa. So, man, just go be a pawpaw. The days is over with. And I'm not even mad at him. I'm mad at the coach. Because y'all are putting him out here. Y'all, I don't feel like they're looking out for him for real. Because why would you go? He's, what, 45?
44.
44? Okay, like, man, come on, bro. It doesn't make sense. Guys are all across the league on all 32 teams, and you could have reached out to anybody. You know what I mean? It's just too many guys that you could have won instead of a 44-year-old. Like you said, he literally used his whole entire body to throw 30 yards.
That's unacceptable.
I'm not a quarterback, but we could easily chunk a 30 yards.
Right. He had to dip his shoulder and everything. Like this was finna be a Elway 80-yard bomb. And that mug sailed. It was in the air about 4 or 5 seconds, too. It wasn't a quick 30 yards. It was about 4 or 5 seconds. Some of his out routes that he threw were so slow. And this ain't even a roast of Phillip Rivers like, oh, he sucked. No, he's 44. He looks like somebody that hasn't played football in 5 years and is 44 years old. That's what he's supposed to look like. Yeah, so, I mean, I get it. But I'm like you. It's got to be somebody else you can call. It's got to be somebody else. I don't care. I know it's some free agent quarterback somewhere. Somebody that's played football since the turn of 2020. This man ain't played football since COVID. They was doing Zooms last time he played football. Zoom press conferences. And then that was the first thing he said when he got back in the coach. He was like, oh, wow, no Zoom. I was, he's not going to last long.
Yeah, he's been out too long.
Let's get this guy out the game. The world was shut down last time he played. There wasn't even no fans in the stands out there as well. Last quick take, man. I didn't even know the bowl season had started outside of South Carolina State and PV going out there having a 4-overtime thriller. I watched some of the Boise State-Washington game just because nothing else was on. I think it was as many people in the stands as it is in the studio with me right now. There was nobody. It was chunks of sections just completely empty. Are there any Washington or Boise State fans in Los Angeles? You put a game between two garbage teams on a Friday night in L.A. Do you think anybody on a Friday night in L.A. is like, oh, let's go watch Boise State versus Washington? I bring it up to say this is what bowl games are going to look like. The playoffs have killed bowl season and what we knew it as, but you can't have both. I've seen some people say, man, I'm so mad. This is going to kill bowl season now with the playoffs. It should. You can't have both now. You can't have all the bowl games are interesting and we get an extra, 4 or 5 games for the playoffs now too as well. Like you can't have it both ways. This is what's going to happen. You put the college football playoffs in with 12 teams, it's going to make nobody watch the bowl games. And Boise State and Washington proved it. I don't know what the bucked up L.A. Bowl is. Like, they got to stop coming up with these new bowls. They had enough of them. There was already enough. What is a bucked up L.A. Bowl? I've never heard of this bowl before in my entire life, and they put Boise and Washington out there.
At this point.
Like, who is bucked up? What is that? What happened to Fiesta Bowl? Like, what happened to all this other?
That?
That's the name of the bowl. Is the bucked up L.A. Bowl?
Who even says being bucked? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Like, that's not like, I never heard anyone from LA ever say that.
No.
I never heard that be like used in any type of manner. I don't even know. I don't know.
Bucked up LA.
They just coming up with stuff.
Yeah, that was bad. It reflected. There was nobody at that game. There was nobody there. Only people in the audience was parents of children that were playing on the field. I don't think one fan from either school came.
It doesn't help that Boise just got whooped and
they got destroyed.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad. It was bad. So for all the bowl game watchers this week, I'm gonna try to tune into a couple of them. But if I see any more product like that Boise State and Washington game, I'm not tuning in. Nobody wanted to see that. That was a waste of my 10 minutes that I did watch of that game. I think it'll be a couple decent bowl games coming up, but mainly everybody's ready for the college football playoffs this weekend. Let's hit a couple NFL games before we switch to some college football. Some games that eliminated teams. The Bengals officially eliminated from playoff contention after they lost 24-0 against the Bengals after they lost 24-0 against the Baltimore Ravens yesterday in a game. Joe Burrow played terrible. He said, I would have lost on any team yesterday playing the way that I played. Somebody needs to check on Joe Burrow, man. He just seems depressed. Like, he's starting to hate football. It's looking like an Andrew Luck situation is happening. Like, this dude has been getting hit the most out of any quarterback in the league since he pretty much stepped into the league, similar to an Andrew Luck. And as great as Andrew Luck was, he said, enough is enough. I can't take it anymore. I can't go into another season getting hit every single play and retired. That's what I'm looking at right now for Joe Burrow. Somebody needs to check on dude because I don't even think he likes football anymore, the way that this is happening. I don't, and I can't blame him. The Bengals are a terrible organization. They prove it every single year. They're 4-10 this year. They brought Joe Burrow back, played through injury, probably on tour at all and all types of other stuff that's going to ruin his kidney just for y'all to come back out here and get blown out 24-0. Do you think Joe Burrow is done with the Bengals? Everybody's starting to, speculate that he's going to ask for a trade or something like that in the offseason.
They've just done a very, very protect, or even not even trying. That's the thing. You haven't even tried to protect him.
No.
You haven't even tried to. He's consistently the most hit quarterback on rushes throughout every season, huh?
I mean, he's top three every year.
Every year. So y'all really, I can't even say that y'all tried to get him any protection on the O-line just because, he is consistent. He's been injured a lot.
They don't even, their first two picks in the draft this year was a linebacker, Demetrius Knight, and then Shamar Stewart, who had one sack in college, and y'all thought he was going to be good in the NFL.
So you're not trying to protect him. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not even trying to protect him because y'all went and got two defensive guys. Now, granted, y'all defense is one of the worst defenses in the league and has been a few years now. No defense is worse than y'all defense in the league. I promise you. So I understand that you're trying to get some guys in the draft as well for the defense, but y'all have a quarterback who is consistently hurt. He's always ends up getting hurt. I can't even remember a season where he didn't end up missing a game.
No, at least one game.
One game, he's going to miss a game. He might miss more. It seems like he just never. It just seems like Joe Burrow. Every time I watch the Bengals and I don't see him, or, somebody else that's watching it with me, and they're like, "Man, where's Joe Burrow?" Oh yeah, he's hurt right now. What?
Yep.
When? It seems like that is like a consistent thing that happens, and so I think he's done with the Bengals, which is unfortunate. Just he to me, he's still that guy.
For sure.
He shows it. To everyone in the league. It's why he's so much about the league, not just because of the 2019 championship run that he had in college, but also just the 2021 run that they had when they were Rams. He's a dog, bro. He's a dog. He has a lot of upside, and he still has a lot of time in his career to show that as well. Still a fairly young guy, so he still has a lot of time. I just think he needs to get out of Cincinnati, where it's just now starting to seem like there's just your career just dies kind of slowly out there. You know what I mean? They still got guys like T and Jamar, but Yeah, but I mean, outside of those two and Joe Burrow, I mean, it's really what that's going on right now in Cincinnati. Their defense is horrible. I wouldn't get a guy if I was to get a guy from Cincinnati that played on defense. I wouldn't trade for anyone or pick up any free agent. They just came from Cincinnati. They're just not good on the defensive side. And even offensive line, I wouldn't even those these guys don't even deserve to be in the league really at this point.
No, he's
Just
not
the
even
awful
league
job
dudes.
that yeah, it's an awful job. Like, you haven't really just watched the Bengals, just go watch them, man. I'm telling you, the pocket closes immediately.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible, and that's why Joe Burrow's sick of it, because it's been like that his whole career. Everybody, Mahomes is this close to being the GOAT and all this kind of stuff, and I mean, Joe Burrow and Mahomes is right there to me. I don't see Mahomes as way better. He's got more accomplishments, obviously, but winning the Super Bowl, just like in basketball, winning a championship, these are team accomplishments. This does not mean somebody's just the best. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, as of right now, Mahomes' career is not way in front of Joe Burrow. I'm just saying Joe Burrow has never had the same type of team that Kansas City has had. And when they match up in the playoffs, Joe Burrow's smacking them every time when they match up in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's not way off. It reminds me of a Matthew Stafford type of situation. That, like, how when Matt Stafford was on the Lions and people just thought he was bad just because he's on the Lions. No, the Lions just suck. So that's what that was. Same deal with Joe Burrow. Hopefully he gets out of Cincinnati before he loses his love for football, because I can see that brewing at this point. I don't even see him either wanting to retire or demanding a trade from the Cincinnati Bengals, but he can't keep staying the way it is right now. The Bills got a win over New England yesterday in what turned out to be a really good game. But the Rams getting a win over the Lions, in my opinion, kind of solidified them as the best team in football. I had already been thinking this for a couple of years. Not a couple of years, for a few weeks now. And I had the Rams as a top-tier team going into the season. I picked them to be right there in the NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles before the season started. Seeing them take out Detroit in a shootout game, we've seen the Rams win defensive games. We've seen them win shootouts. I think the Rams are the best team in football. Denver's been playing great, but I just don't trust Denver's offense, even though they had a good game yesterday. If I got to pick between Bo Nix and Matthew Stafford, it's not a hard choice for me whatsoever. I think the Rams are the best team in football. After they beat Detroit yesterday, what do you think about Los Angeles, PJ?
The Rams are, they might be the best team in the league, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, I gotta really think about it before I really stamp that, but I wouldn't go against that argument. They're a very, very good team, very well balanced. They have one of the top defenses in the league, while also having one of the top offenses in the league. And some say that is the best offense in the league right now with Matthew Stafford and them. They're pretty much unstoppable. They're gonna score. They're gonna score on you.
Yeah.
Defense, which there's nobody else in the league that has that defense. To me, I feel like the Texans defense is like the Legion of Boom right now. So everyone else is getting scored on. Everyone else. All other defenses are getting scored on when you play against the Rams. And you just kind of got to be okay with that. You got to try to, because they're going to get theirs. So you kind of got to just try to outscore them, which is going to be hard because their defense is like number 2 in the league, number 3 in the league, I think. So they're well balanced, probably the most balanced team right now. I wouldn't be against putting them as the best team in the league right now. And like you said yesterday, they had a really good win, looked really good. I'm sold on the Rams right now for sure.
Yeah, Rams are, they're looking like they're, like you said, right up there for best team in the league or one of the best teams in the league with the way that they've been playing, man. So I think they're the cream of the crop in the NFC, and the NFC is probably going to run through them. Last one before we move on to college football. Dallas Cowboys losing last night on Sunday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. I've seen somebody say everybody remembers how to play football against the Cowboys. Suddenly, J.J. McCarthy turns back into a really good quarterback. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Dak Prescott, played decent in this game. Wasn't able to make those plays at the very end of the game, but I understand he was playing with some backup linemen. It pretty much shuts the door on the Cowboys' playoff hopes for this season. I think they have now a 1% chance to get into the playoffs now. I think they would have to win every game the rest of the season, and Philly would also have to lose all of their games. So kind of a tall task there. I don't think they'll be able to get into it. They're eliminated from wild card. Only way they can get in right now is if they win their division. So they would have to win the rest and Philly lose the rest of their game. What do you think about Dallas losing and pretty much closing the door on the playoffs chances?
I would say actually over. That it's over now. You know, everyone having hope. This still wasn't a team that I would want to see in the playoffs, even with as good as the offense is or has been this year. The defense just hasn't. And Quentin Williams, I think, yesterday. So that's another thing that we kind of got to pay attention to today. So this gives us time now. Kind of the sort of feeling that I have with the Texas Longhorns not making the playoffs. I'm not really upset about it. This just gives us more time now and a head start. We need to be trying to acquire in the offseason, things that we need to be really addressing, certain problems, even if it comes down to just certain, not head coaching, but just, specific like position coaches, changes that we need to be looking at as far as with that too. And just all across the board, just go ahead and just get ready for next year, 2026, and, start looking at draft boards and guys that can possibly be coming out this year going into the draft. And, really just, like I said, just get ready for the offseason, man. Finishing off strong, but in the background, we need to be going ahead and trying to get a head start as to what we need to do to bounce back and, come out and play winning football next year. And more winning, more balanced, in a more balanced way, because balanced at all. And there were times, or a lot of times, where this offense was really the only fire on the team, and the defense just was horrible, historically horrible, with some of their numbers that they were putting up. You know what I mean, on the field. So, like I said, I'm not really too upset. I'm glad it's over. I got tired of all the hope and. Well, we can make the playoffs. And like, why would you want to make the playoffs just for you to get put out in the wild card weekend?
Facts.
If I want to make the playoffs, I want us to make the playoffs and actually have a chance. Like when you look at the Houston Texans, they actually have a chance with their defense. And after yesterday, with the offense looking good, they're a team that you really need. They're a team I wouldn't want to play right now. I wouldn't want to play Houston right now. Because their defense is only giving up. Their defense is so good. And I know some Cowboy fans are going to be mad that I'm talking about the Texans, but I'll support the Texans as well.
Yeah.
They defense so good that all they have to, I promise you, all they got to do is score, like, on the average right now, if they score 17 points, they're going to win the game.
Yeah. I say about 24. If you get to 24 points, I don't know who will beat them.
Yeah, and you're not going to score 24 on this Texans defense.
No.
So we need a balance like that. Now, granted, yes, I've been hearing some people like, C.J. Stroud needs to do better and this, do better. But yesterday they did their thing, and you see what happened. And guess how many points the opposing team scored? 20.
Yep.
So, I need for the Cowboys to kind of get to that right there. And just in a way that the Houston Texans has built their team up throughout these years in the draft, these last, I'll say probably 5-6 years in the draft, it all culminates to what they have become now. You know what I mean? And so that's something that we need to work on. We need to look at that. I'm not sure if we're going to do that because we have a way older GM and owner than the Houston Texans do.
Yeah.
And he stuck in his things. And so that's our downfall. We're a way older organization, meaning that it's going to be way harder because we have a lot of stubborn ways from our GM, and he's not open to, new, I guess you could say, new ways of thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be tough for them, but I honestly like some of the rebuilding pieces. Getting Quentin Williams is obviously cool. Does it replace the Michael Parsons thing? No, but it's a good replacement. They'll have to figure out what they're going to do with all the rest of these guys. We're going to get 3 D tackles and pay them $20 million a year to stop the run, and nobody stopped the run still. So, I mean, They got to stop with that. But Quentin Williams, he's a monster. They got to move on from Diggs, I think, and spread some of that money around. I guess you just keep Bland at this point. He's not as bad as Diggs. He's solid, and at least he'll come up and make a tackle if he ain't going out there and stopping nobody. He don't mind coming up and making no tackles. So maybe you keep him and move on from some of the other guys. But the Cowboys definitely have some rebuilding to do going forward from there. It's encouraging to see that they're able to run the ball again. But, they definitely need improvements to be able to get back to being considered contenders, even with Dak Prescott playing the way that he was for a majority of this year. I want to go to some college football. The playoffs start this weekend, everybody. We got a few minutes here left on the show. Playoffs start this weekend. Transfer portal is pretty much open. I want to start with the Heisman Trophy. Goes to Fernando Mendoza. That was my pick for the Heisman this year. I think with the type of season Indiana had, the type of season that he had throwing the football, I know he doesn't look exactly like, a lot of the Heisman Trophy winners, not a hyper-athletic guy, but he's a smart college quarterback. He ran the system to perfection pretty much for Indiana. I don't even know if he's a guy that'll work out in the NFL, but the Heisman is not about who's the best NFL prospect. It's who had the best season. So shout out to Mendoza. He was my pick to win it. But I want to talk about one of the other guys in the Heisman. Diego Pavia, the guy who's tried to coin himself as, I guess, one of the bad boys of college football. The dude is my age out there still playing college football, still fighting for another year of eligibility in college football. He after losing in the Heisman Trophy, even though he got 193 votes, I mean, he was second place. He was right there as far as winning it. They just said the other guy was better, which he was. I mean, their season, he went undefeated. I understand you brought back Vanderbilt. You had a great season. I think Pavia is one of the best players in college football. But to then post a picture at the Heisman ceremony still with you and all your homeboys, post a picture with middle fingers up and said, F all the voters for the Heisman. Then the back door to that, to go out that night, post all over your social media. He had bottle girls bring out when they get to section at the club. Of course, you knew he was getting a section at the club. Gets a section, bottle service comes out, and makes them put a sign on that says F Indiana. So now you hating on Indiana. Come on, bro. My only thing with this is if this was Shedeur Sanders, if this was Lamar Jackson, if this was Cam Newton, if this was Geno Smith, if this was any of these dudes who are high-level players in college football that were black, man, they would be ready to put these dudes in jail. They would throw their whole draft stock away and say this is the worst classless thing we've ever seen. But Diego Pavia gets to do it. He gets to be the half-white dude who comes out with a buzz cut, raps to some Gunna songs and wears a chain, and now he's the cool guy. And now I'm going to say F Indiana. And hey, bro, come on, man. Come on, bro. Stop it. You got the little man syndrome. You didn't win. Just be happy that you were even considered to be there. What's wrong with that? Then you got 193 votes for first place. So F them voters too. They gave you 193 votes. They could have gave you 0 votes. I'd have voted for Jacob Rodriguez ahead of him if they'd have put him in the Final Four, but they didn't. What do you think about Mendoza winning the Heisman and then Diego Pavia's actions after losing the Heisman?
I love it for Fernando Mendoza, player. Like you said, he doesn't have like a lot of big or anything like that, but he's very smart just about whenever you watch Indiana play. And, I really think he fits into Kurt Signetti's system perfectly. And so he deserved that award. I honestly wouldn't have been okay with anyone else besides him winning that award. I really feel like that he put in enough work to outright win it, you know what I mean? And it shouldn't even be close. As far as with Diego Pavia, he's just such a lame. I'm so tired. He's lame, man. I'm tired of seeing him. I'm tired of seeing his mom, his brothers.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? Debacle. Like I'm kind of just tired of watching it. He wants to be the college football bad boy. I don't get it, honestly. I don't know why. We looking at like that last year, You know what I mean? When playing, I don't know. We wasn't looking at Vanderbilt as a team like, oh, they the bad boys. You know what I mean? Anything like
No,
that.
no.
Last year, if anything, we were actually happy for Vanderbilt. We were happy to this. See, want that like his image because we were actually happy for them going into this year, and we're wanting them to be good again, just like they were last year or better. I feel like that they had a better season than they did last year because they actually had a chance to make the college football playoff this year more than they did last year. So I don't know where that changed because he's been hanging out with Manziel. He's been hanging out with Johnny,
Yeah.
which I personally just feel like Johnny Manziel is the wrong guy to be hanging
It's the
out
wrong
with.
influence, bro.
And
you not Manziel. You nice, but
you're not
you ain't
Manziel.
Johnny football now.
No, you're not Johnny Football. So you got to get that out. Get just a guy like him, man. No offense, will be hanging out with him. You doing all things for the wrong reason. So yeah, I don't know what this is. And then having the sign says F Indiana, like you guys are not even in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then it's not like you saying a team that you had a chance to play because they're in the Big Ten. So to hate, that's crazy to me to even say F Indiana when, man, they resume speaks for itself.
First off, they would destroy y'all if y'all played.
They would destroy y'all
30
if y'all
piece.
played, like destroyed. Yeah, 30 piece. Easily.
I don't get where these dudes, I don't, like you said, Manziel's not the guy to be hanging with. Yeah, if he had any draft stock, that's what I was going to. If you had any draft stock, which you don't, it's done now. It's done now. Your mentor is Johnny Manziel. This is a guy that's doing coke before a game and talks about it and gets to keep his Heisman, even though they kept Reggie Bush's Heisman for 20 years. He talked about it and like, yeah, this is my Heisman right behind me. That shouldn't be the guy you influence. Second, just because you get a chain and you get a turtleneck and you get a buzz cut, that don't make you that, bro. Just be whatever you are. You don't got to try to be something else or somebody else, bro. Just be whatever you are. That's going to be a nice college quarterback. You're not going to the league. You popping it a little too hard, and you better hope somebody from Indiana don't see you. Because a lot of teams, you're not finna be talking about their quarterback like that. You're not finna be talking about their school like that. Y'all at the crib, bro. Let's just keep it there. Just be happy that Vanderbilt's
Just be thankful that you were even put in that position to be in New York. You know what I'm saying? To even be around and to be around other legends that won the trophy, and and just have a chance to win it, like you said, second place. So he should just be thankful that he was even in that position rather than, you know what I mean, saying F them all and F Indiana and pure hating on the guy who deserved it just as much as you did, and I would say more, because he led his team to an undefeated record and they won their conference against a juggernaut team, State, who they weren't favored at all to beat.
Yeah, facts.
If you're in that position, man, like I don't get all the, you trying to throw the F word all over the place to everybody and saying F them all and F Indiana and stuff. You saying F Indiana that's a team that, like I said, their resume speaks for themselves, man. Them dudes earned their rep. And they earned their way into the college football playoff, and they're the number one team in the college football playoff. And to be honest, even with them being the number one, person, that is going to have them boys ready to play.
Yeah,
because he's not going to have them believing in all the hype. So just go into your little bowl game, man. When you get to the draft, like you said, he possibly killed some of his draft stock with this, if not all of it.
Yeah, probably all of it, man. He ain't have no draft stock. He was going to be a 7th round pick, maybe, if somebody just felt like taking a chance. But, that just being the hard-nosed player stuff and I'm going to work hard, hey, that don't work in the NFL, bro. If you're just not talented enough, you're just not talented enough. I don't think Diego Pavia is talented enough. He put out a statement on Twitter wanting to apologize. Being part of the Heisman ceremony was such a great honor, yada, yada, yada. Then at the end of it, he gets to, I've been doubted my whole life. Every step of my journey, I had to break down doors. Hey, bro, let's kill the I had a dream speech. We don't care. We don't care. How about that? Just say you're sorry and go on about your day. You don't have to give us a background of your story. I went to bed hungry when I was 8 years old one time, and I said, I'm never going to – hey, be quiet. We don't want to hear that. You said F Indiana and F all the voters. That's what you said. Yeah. We didn't make you say that. Just be happy you was at the Heisman, bro, because this is the end of football. This is the last time you're putting pads on unless you're going to play in the CFL. So that just is what it is. I think you should just enjoy it. He's trying to come back for another year eligibility. I think that should be illegal. He played like 2 or 3 years of JUCO. 26. He played JUCO for a couple of years. He played D2 for our D1 Division AA at New Mexico State for a couple of years. This is second year at Vanderbilt. How many years of football can you play in college? In college. The only people the same age as you playing college football is at a NAIA school. That's it. And nobody else in the schools you're going to be playing is going to be the same age as you, bro. So let's cut it out. Hopefully, he figures something out, man. Shout out to Fernando Mendoza on winning that. The transfer portal is open on January 2nd, but it's pretty much open right now. Lots of quarterbacks jumping into the portal. One of the biggest names, if not the biggest name, DJ Lagway. Patrick Mahomes Jr., a.k.a. Dylan Raiola, is in the transfer portal. Brent Sorensby from Cincinnati, who had a great year, is entering the transfer portal. Aiden Childs from Michigan State, who had a pretty good year, entering the transfer portal. What do you think about seeing all these big-name quarterbacks already entering their name into the portal? And shout out Lenore Sellers, man. You could tell that he got, a family that ain't playing that. They don't care that South Carolina was sorry. He's staying another year. Could have went to the league or could have transferred, and he's staying another year at South Carolina as well. What do you think about all these quarterbacks jumping into the portal,
though? And Dylan Raiola go into the portal because I thought he had a good thing going in Nebraska, and they actually were relevant this year and had a really good season. Yeah. And had a good season even last year. Seeing him into the portal, I'm not sure where he could go really. He'll be a really good portal pickup, though, I would say. I don't think he's a bad player at all. We just don't like his antics that he does trying to be like Mahomes.
It's getting weird. It's getting weird. He got to stop.
It's getting weird. He got to stop that. As far as DJ Lagway goes, I've been hearing that, like we said earlier, his father played at Baylor, and they got really, really close with Baylor. And so that's a team right now that everybody has on the as far as so far. I mean, it's so early. I mean, he just put himself into the portal today, so just a few hours ago. But besides Baylor, I've heard also LSU.
Yeah.
So that'll be another big pickup too, with Lane Kiffin and his new crew that he's bringing in out there in Baton Rouge. And then what was the other?
Sorensby at Cincinnati. Aiden Childs from Michigan State, who had a pretty decent year.
Yeah, man, with Aiden Childs, man, a lot of these guys, I don't know, man. I've been seeing a lot of big names that's going into the portal. Even with Texas today, right before we got on here, Leona Leafau, he, the linebacker, he's going into the portal. So the only thing I hope these guys is that they're going into the portal for a good reason and not just to be going to the portal trying to chase money, because we've seen this happen before where some of these guys are trying to go to these different schools, for more money, and you're putting yourself in a bad situation. You know what I mean?
Sam Levitt, too. I forgot Sam Levitt said he's getting into the portal as well.
Yeah, Sam Levitt as well. Which I just don't know. I'm trying to think of certain schools that these guys can go to. Speaking of guys that are going into the portal or trying to, get another year of eligibility. What's the guy, the quarterback for Auburn?
Which one? Jackson Arnold?
Yeah, Jackson Arnold he's in the portal. Yeah. He's in the portal.
He just got there.
And he's becoming a journeyman.
Yeah.
Type of QB. It's just not a good look, man. You guys got to start. After a while, I mean, guys got $1 million contracts, so I don't know what type of money that you're looking for. like, getting no money. You weren't getting no money.
No.
So you guys are getting $1 million contracts, or I don't know, seeing at least a few thousand after, I guess, after taxes or whatever. You still seeing some good money. At some point, man, you guys got to just stay at these. Like, I see no reason for Dylan Raiola to leave Nebraska. I actually think that they're going up right now to me. As far as with DJ Lagway, okay, I see why you would want to leave Florida. I think he's not going to just be the only one. I think this is going to be a trickle effect where he's going to be the first one, but then it already has, because they had another guy today that entered the portal as well. So they're going to have some guys into the portal.
I think Ball might be on his way out too. I think he might. He's thinking about getting into the portal as well.
I think so too, just because Jabbar Jaluk, we just hired him at Texas as our new running back coach earlier.
Yep.
So I don't know if that will play a part with Ball. I'm not saying that he will come to Texas, but that could play a part getting into the portal, just because the guy that you came in with is no longer there as far as, your coach. And so, some of these guys, man, I just hope that they make the best decision for them. I hope that they can get somewhere and actually play. But for some of these guys, looking at position-wise, looking at their positions, I don't see certain teams that are going to be in need of a quarterback. You know what I mean? Some of these guys, some of these quarterbacks right now that's even in the college football playoff, these are guys that are sophomores. They're going to be coming back next year.
Yeah.
Chambliss out of Ole Miss, or even Gunnar Stockton, guys that are going to be back. And so I don't really see where you go. I mean, even Joey Aguilar at Tennessee, he's going to be there next year. So you can't really just say that, if Duke can probably go to Tennessee. Like, I don't know where it's going to be quarterback vacancies at. And I mean, so I'm sure some guys are going to go ahead and go into the draft. But as far as right now, me looking around, there's not a lot of schools. But as far as with DJ Lagway, I think he's going to be in good hands. But Sam Levitt and some of these guys who I really feel like they're good, but they benefited more off the system. And so I'm just where they could possibly go. I mean, there's a lot of FBS schools, Division I schools. So these guys are fine. They'll find somewhere to play.
Yeah, they'll get somewhere. Some of these guys are going to worse schools though. Like Dylan Raiola maybe goes to a better school than Nebraska, just depending on the quarterback situation. Sam Levitt, I think either him or Lagway will go to LSU. They'll get one of those two guys to be quarterback. I don't think Raiola will really fit down there. I know Tech will be looking for a quarterback in the offseason stuff. So, I mean, there's some options, but some of y'all are going to end up at a worse school just jumping in the portal. Like Aiden Childs, like, Michigan State sucks, bro. Like, where you finna go? Are you finna go to Toledo or something? Like, I don't know what you got going on. Like, I don't know. Some of these dudes, your film not good, bro. Like, where do you think you're about to go after this? Brent Sorensby, I get it. You want to cash in. He had a good year. You want to cash in on it and try to get somewhere like a Tech or somewhere like that. But some of these guys, you're going to end up at worse schools. Not just quarterbacks, but a lot of these guys jumping into the portal early and just can't wait to go out here and leave some of these teams. You're going to find yourself playing D1 AA in just a second if you keep leaving these schools here. Before we get off here, man, pretty much out of time, but got to talk about all this nonsense going on with the Michigan Wolverines. I mean, these dudes just won a championship 3 years ago? These guys just won it 2 years ago. They just won a championship. To see where their program is that quick, Bryce Underwood hasn't went into the transfer portal yet, but depending on who they hire, I think he's going into the transfer portal, and he might go back to LSU. Already seen Tyrann Mathieu commenting on his stuff and telling him to come on home, all this. But I think he might jump into the portal as well because Michigan is in shambles. I mean, you have another season where you underachieve, and now you got a freaky coach that's been put out on Front Street in front of the entire world. Backdoors that, gets arrested. Like, this dude, this just spiraling out of control. They already probably was trying to get rid of you. You was the first black head coach at the University of Michigan. So it's already eyeballs on you. You only became the coach because Jim Harbaugh is a real one and put into his contract that if I leave, Sharon Moore will be the coach. That's the only reason you was the coach. You was crying on there talking about that's my quarterback, that's my coach, all this kind of stuff, and now you get caught door dashing Plan Bs to the facility. Like, bro, you just was not thinking at all. Like, you was not thinking at all, bro. You door dashed a Plan B to the facility. To like, I can't go. I can't go in the store and go get this. They'll see me. So I know what I do. I'm going door dash it to the gym. You door dash the Plan. Like, come on, dog. Come on, bro.
Fun fact though, in Ann Arbor on their campus, there's a CVS and a Walgreens on the campus. So this makes it even worse. You could have just stopped at the CVS or Walgreens. Got it. Instead you DoorDashed. Dude, it's not far from the facility, bro. It's on the campus. They literally have a CVS and Walgreens on their campus.
If you're trying not to get caught at work, I don't think you should DoorDash the materials for you to get caught to the place where you work. You ain't even DoorDash it to the house. I know your wife is at the house, so you're like, I ain't gonna DoorDash it there. I got to think bigger than this. But clearly, critical thinking skills was not on the highest level for you. First off, you just blew up $8 million because you getting fired with cause now. So you don't even get fired with all this money that we seeing coaches get fired for now. You get none of it. Then you try to go to the girl's house and say, you know what? Since you ruined this, I'm not gonna beat you up. I'm gonna kill myself here in front of you.
With
hey, bro, what?
Knife. He had a butter knife in his hand.
Hey, man, Sharon Moore, bro. You are going down in the history books for this one. Never heard about this. This is probably the dumbest way I've heard of anybody blowing up $8 million. All you had to do was be the coach. That's it. But you couldn't stay out of the snow. You just couldn't leave it alone. Like it was just calling you like Pookie off of New Jack City. Like you just couldn't stop, bro. You just couldn't stop yourself to the point that you blew up $8 million. $8 million down the drain. Now your wife gonna divorce you. She gonna take whatever you got left. Your new girl don't want you because you said you was gonna kill both of y'all in the living room, and she done probably got a restraining order right now with a butter knife.
Yeah.
Then you got to go to jail, post your bond on dumb charges, and then what? Now you come back to no job. Nobody's gonna hire you. You were the offensive line coach, and like he was the offensive coordinator and worked his way up and get another job. Ain't nobody finna hire you to be the offensive line coach, bro.
Nah.
Now you get fired and go home to no money. See, Brian Kelly and all these dudes that got fired, they going home to giant bags. They going home to millions. You going home to, I don't know, you got to find you a new one. You can't even go back to the two you just had because you blew both of them up. So now you got to go on a search for another one. Moral of the story, don't order a Plan B through DoorDash. Like first of all, I didn't know you could do that. Second, you're trusting a DoorDash worker. You trusting a DoorDash worker to keep your business locked in. Somebody that work on DoorDash. Oh, they ain't going to tell who it is. You probably ordered with your name, too. Coach Moore orders Plan B to the Michigan facility, to the practice field. Like, come on, bro. I don't. What do you think about Michigan? Are they done after this? I think Michigan is pretty much done. They're going to lose half their guys in the transfer portal.
Yeah, a lot of their guys are about to go into the transfer portal. They're already losing a lot of guys that they just recruited. A lot of guys are already taking their commit back. I'm not gonna lie, me being sort of like a Texas insider a little bit, we're snagging a few of those guys. I'll just say that a few of those guys are talking to Texas already because Michigan and Texas kind of have like a secret, not even secret, but a silent, I would say, recruit. And so certain guys are already kind of looking, their second school was Texas. So, they're going to lose a lot of their recruits. A lot of the guys that's already there are probably going to go into the portal. I'm thinking possibly after this bowl game, a lot of these guys are going to be in the portal. I'm honestly leaning towards them probably not even the bowl game just because I don't know what they're going to put out there, and whatever that they put out there, I mean, at this point, it's like it's nobody wants to see it. And oh my God, the signs that are about to be out there,
yeah, it's going to be crazy
at these games, these games next year, it's going to be wild for them.
Yeah.
So like, it's gonna be wild for him, man. So they're a whole rebuild as far as just with culture, because right now your culture is down bad, man.
It's
Just
out
in
of
these
there.
last few years, it's out of there from the cheating scandal. You know what I mean? Taking the and everything like that to this right here with Sharon Moore, which I mean is not necessarily a team thing, but still it trickles down just because that was your head coach and that was the guy that y'all chose to go with. And I don't really see. I mean, Michigan is always going to be somebody's going to want to go and coach just because they are blue blood. But man, after this right here, man, it's going to be very hard, and I don't even know whoever that they hire as far as a head coach. And I don't know who's out there, man. A lot of these guys are getting snagged up already. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to go you're going to have to go be looking at a smaller conference to get a guy at this point. You know, a guy who probably coached in a smaller conference like the SWAC, not the SWAC, but the I mean, they definitely not going to the SWAC because Sharon Moore was the first and the last African American president.
He's gonna be the last.
The last coach that they. He's gonna be the last, bro. He's gonna be the last. He's ruined it for any black coach that wants to coach at Michigan. They would never hire us again.
No,
they would never hire us again. So yeah, right now, man, your culture is just is down bad right now. You're going to lose a lot of recruits in the class of 2027, 2028, and even 26 right now because it's not the end for them yet. So you're going to lose a lot of guys. You're going to have to rebuild throughout the portal. That's if guys even want to come there. You have the money to pay these guys, but it's like, who is your coach? So first thing first, you need to really go get a coach.
Yeah,
that's the only way. That's the only way that you're going to save not just your season for next year, but just future seasons after that. And you know, actually having something, you know, to put onto the field that your fans will want to even come and watch. You know what I mean? So right now, yeah, man, they're in trouble. Like I said, if I was them personally as an AD, I wouldn't even be mad if they opted out of the bowl game at this point. I wouldn't be mad. A lot of things to worry about other than playing in a bowl game against Texas.
Yeah, a lot of things to worry about other than that because you got to find it. As you said, ain't nobody left. Matt Campbell would have been a good hire. He already went to Penn State. Lane Kiffin would have been a good hire. He'd have went there. Everybody keeps pointing at Kalen DeBoer. I'm like, why would Kalen DeBoer ever leave Alabama? That'll make – if he gets fired, that's one thing. But what job are you going to leave that's going to be bigger and better than Alabama? Like, that doesn't even make sense. I don't know why they keep linking Kalen DeBoer to everywhere. But Florida still needs a coach. Yeah. Auburn still needs – I mean, all these places still need a coach. And Michigan adding to that list just makes it worse. I've seen some people saying Brian Kelly. Let's just let Brian Kelly be retired, man. Like, I don't think anybody – he's not a culture builder. You don't bring him in when your school is in shambles like this. So Michigan got a lot of work ahead of them. Number one thing on the list is trying to keep Bryce Underwood there because if he transfer, I think that's when the wheels are going to fall off, and you're going to see a lot of these guys transferring. To Freaky Rome, man, I don't know. I think he's done coaching. I don't see him getting a job anywhere else. Like, I don't see anybody else hiring.
They're not going to. Yeah, no one's going to pick him up ever again to coach. Not a position coach.
No,
really
he was never going to be a head coach nowhere. Like, he only did that because he was homies with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, he's tarnished his whole entire career. I feel bad for him, man. I don't feel bad for him.
No, I don't.
I lied. I feel bad. Yeah, because I feel bad more for just his family because this is very embarrassing.
For sure. It is.
You know what I'm saying? It's very embarrassing. So not towards him, really just towards the family because this is embarrassing and people are going to continue to talk about this throughout the entire offseason leading up to next year just because he's forever going to be linked to Michigan and he is going to be the downfall for this Michigan program in the next season, next few years because they are going to have some down years where it's not going to be as, good. They weren't even just that good this year, but they still were good enough to, win like nine games.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's going to drop now, he's going to forever be linked to Michigan because there's going to be a drop-off to this program. And I'm just gonna be honest. If they quarterback goes into if Bryce Underwood goes into the portal, he's going to be going to LSU.
Yeah, that's the only team he would even go for.
Without a doubt. So to lose your quarterback in that manner after flipping him last year in his commitment and just losing him a year later like that, that is going to be a terrible look, and they're going to have a hard time shaking back from this.
Yeah, they ain't had no good quarterback since Denard Robinson in 2012 or whatever. Like, it's already hard enough for Michigan to get good quarterbacks. So to get generational talent, at least what they consider him, and Bryce Underwood, then and to lose him like that, man, I'm thinking it'll be tough and probably a program killer for the next couple of years. So Sharon Moore out at Michigan, probably won't be coaching. I think it might be some spots open down here at the Brazos Gators, man. You could come down here and coach some 6U, coach some 7U, some 8U. But as far as coaching college football, that's over with, man. The college football playoffs starting this weekend. I cannot wait to be able to watch that, folks. We're out of time here today on Centex Primetime. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk some more about the transfer portal, talk about these games coming up. If Rocky's on there with us, we'll talk some HBCU ball, man, as PV dropped the ball at the last minute. Disappointed me once again, but it's all good. Still had a great year. So we'll talk a lot more about that tomorrow, break down some more of these NFL games as well. Want to thank everybody for tuning in here. MCC Post game. It turned into Centex Primetime. Appreciate you guys that did stay on the stream with us and watched with us from the game earlier. MCC got a win over Paris Junior College. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a great evening. Happy holidays to everybody out there as well. We'll be back here tomorrow. We'll see you guys then.